Whoops, here. There we go. All right. So, welcome to everyone here, both in the seen and the unseen worlds. A little story. I was teaching yoga at it was actually a dance studio. It was a beautiful, huge, um, perfect wooden floor with a wall of mirrors. And this one day I had one student. That was it. And I had a platform to sit up on so that people could see me. So I was sitting on that and I looked over and there were these yogis in white. They were ghosts. And I had a spiritual guide leading me back in those days, and I mentioned that I thought it was unusual that they, being other side, would come to my class when I'm in 3D. And they said, my spiritual teacher said, you have a following from the other side. So when I said that just now, the seen and the unseen, that's what I was remembering. So it's kind of funny, but it was really interesting to see them, these white yogis. So things open up when you practice yoga and Reiki. So we'll open our bodies and our minds now, just uh, pressing down in our hips and legs and lifting up through our spinal column. Just letting go of the day, the day's activities, the day's challenges, if you had some of those. And you're welcome here in this sacred space that we have created virtually. Just become aware of your breath. Follow it in and out. Take yourself down into a relaxed state. Start to notice how you feel. And check in with your physical body to see where you're at, what your body's needs are in this moment. Is it asking you for assistance through the language of sensation, the language of the body? And you can make some little movements to check in. Muscles and joints. And as you relax a little bit more, our theme here for this practice is from a quotation by Edward Salem Michael: learn to be internally alone. Don't allow people and things to invade your being. It's just a nice reminder with so much going on in the world, unrest and turmoil, battle between light and dark, to become aware of ourselves in the quiet, in the silence of the divine environment. And then remembering when we're in the outer environment, not to allow people to trigger us off. The Hathors, who are spiritual sisters and brothers of ours, not of this world, but they did channel through and wrote a book called The Hathors. They recommend creating over you a pyramid from the point over your head and coming down the four sides. And then at the base, you're sitting in the base, another pyramid pointing downward into the earth. This is a protection. It protects you emotionally from other people's energy or input that that is not in alignment with yours. So if you want to use that, I'll try to refer to it during our practice, and I use it frequently. I'll put a pyramid over the house and down into the earth, over my car. Even when I'm driving, I'll use it just as a protection, and I fill it with light, and you can too. Whatever color you feel drawn to or is your favorite, you can use that for protection and uh, a healthy boundary. Okay, so having said that, just take your left hand and reach out as though you're reaching for something, and then exhale and pull it in. And then your right arm, reach out and pull it in, and reach out, pull it in, just reach out and pull it in. Now just bring your hand, your fingertips up overhead to represent the pinnacle of your pyramid, your triangle shape. Taking a breath. Exhale and just lower your arms down, arm's length, and breathe your arms up overhead again, fingertips touching, creating that apex of the pyramid. And exhale, lower down. And once more, breathe. And exhale, lower down. Now, to represent the pyramid pointing downward, bring your hands into Kali Mudra, which is to interlace all but your index fingers and your thumbs are just side by side. And take in a breath from your center. Exhale and point downward towards the apex of the pyramid underneath you. And then breathe it back up. Exhale it down to the apex. And once more, breathe. And exhale down. This is a release, a mudra of release. All right. And then we'll come up into standing. So I wanted to mention, we were talking before we started the recording, but with this quotation, learn to be internally alone. I mentioned earlier that so many people, and you can shake out your legs while I'm referring to this, so many people who have grown up with technology and they're constantly on the phone, and I understand that. I use my phone a lot too. But when I grew up through yoga, I learned to enjoy being alone and just by myself. So when we can be with ourselves, then we can tap into the divine more easily. So just bring your feet in, come up onto the balls of your feet, and we'll rock a little bit to loosen up ankles and toes. So that pyramid protects you from unwanted energy, perhaps chaotic energy, and it allows you to stay peaceful within yourself. So it's internally alone. All right, bring your knees down onto the mat and lift up sitting on your heels. And just breathe, arms up overhead. Interlace fingers and turn your palms upward, creating a little altar. Press your arms back, give them a nice stretch. And exhale and lower down. All right, and just coming up into standing. So separate your feet hip width, bend your knees, and stretch your sacrum away. So turning sideways, not so much your tailbone, but the flat of your back, the sacrum. Press that back. So you need to engage your core muscles. Press it back. This can help align you. Sometimes it'll feel like something's just a little click off. And then lower your hips down, draw your tummy in. and push the floor away. Lift your arms overhead. And we'll come in for a swan dive. Just open up and lower down. Just bend one knee and then the other, loosening up in your legs. All right, and then lower your hips and come into a stretch. This is for the rest of your spine. So draw navel into your spine, engage your core. Let your arms and your head just hang freely. You want your shoulders level with the root of your thigh or the groin area. So your shoulders are only that far down. So rounding your back here. Now come around to your left. Pull the shoulder away. Feel that stretch in your sacrum, your sacroiliac joint. Inhale up to center. Exhale to the other side. Once more to each side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side. See how far you can go. Pull your shoulder away from the hip. And inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. And inhale back to center. Push the floor away. And just some shoulder rolls to loosen up in your shoulders, your upper back. And reverse. All right, shake out your arms. This is an exercise I learned back in the 70s, and I like to return to it every once in a while. So bring your arms to your sides, turn your palms out and in and out, and bring them up overhead. All the way to your ears, and then back, coming down. Whatever pace feels right. If you like to do it fast, some people like it fast. You can do that too. Bring a little heat in your arms. Once more, down and up. Okay, now pressing down in both feet, reach up through your fingertips. Reach up higher. Feel your tummy disappear as you lift. And then lower down. Okay, so what I'd like to do is have you go to the wall. We're just going to do some arm work to strengthen and tone our arms. So if you just go to the wall, you don't really need your mat, although you can move it if you want. And just bring your palms onto the wall. We're just going to do some mini push-ups. So take your feet away. Hip width apart is good. We'll stretch our legs first. So press your palms against the wall. Press the inside of your knuckles specifically more against the wall. Take in a breath. Exhale, bend your elbows and keep your heels down and stretch your calf muscles. Push away. Inhale. Exhale. Always stretch on the exhale. Press your heels down. See if you can go a little further. And pull back. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hips forward. Now just hold and press one heel down and then the other. You're not lifting them up, you're just accentuating. Press down, press down. Okay, now press away from the wall, straighten your arms, take in a breath. Lower your hands, maybe an inch. Okay, and then press in and press out. So little wall push-ups. Kind of like the plank, only we're at the wall. Keep your heels down, stretch the back of your legs. Now press your arms so that they're straight. Walk your feet back and come into a half down dog. So separate your feet and then draw your shoulders down in between your head, in between your shoulders. Let yourself arch a little bit. And you can tilt your hips up to stretch the backs of your legs. Okay, can you see that? I'll do it again. So your hips are just kind of normal, and then you're tilting the hips up. All right, now with your hips up, just walk your hands down the wall until you can come down onto the floor. Walk your hands in towards your feet. Head to knee pose. And then bend your knees, round your back, and press up, lifting arms up overhead and coming back onto your mat if you're away from it. Interlace your fingers behind your head, open your elbows, and just take your arms side to side. See if you can get your elbow somewhere behind your head. And then pull your arms back away from your head. Okay. And then just relax them down. Feel the heat in your shoulders if you notice that. All right. So breathe palms into Namaste hands or Anjali Mudra. Focus on a spot. We'll work with some balancing. So just taking a breath. Shift the weight over to your right foot and lift your left knee up and bring your foot to the knee of the supporting leg. This is stork pose. Now lift your left knee and lower it down. Other side. Get your center. And remember, you have a pyramid over you. So the pyramid expands with you. If you're sitting and you stand up, the pyramid moves with you, or we intend for that. And then there's the one below you, and the bases meet at the base of at the soles of your feet. All right, so take in your breath. Focus on your spot. Shift the weight to your left leg and lift your right knee up and toes to the knee of the supporting leg. And whoops, inhale your knee up and set it down. Set your foot on the floor. And then release your hands and arms. Bring some energy down into your fingers. Okay. So just step towards the front end of your mat. Hands on your hips. Taking a breath. Exhale, soften your knees. We'll come into warrior one leg. So take your left leg back. Reach. Lift in the front of your body. Lift and open shoulders and chest. Breathe your arms up overhead. Now change your drishti to the floor. Lean forward. Transfer the weight onto the front leg and come into your warrior three balancing stick. Lift the back leg up. Now set the back foot down this time. Front knee is bent. Whoops. Release your hands and just bring them back into arrow. Leaning forward as though you're the arrow that's been shot into the air to meet your goals, your dreams. And bring your hands back onto your hips and step it in. We'll step your other leg back, your left leg. Reach it back. Just get comfortable in your warrior one legs. Open the shoulders and the chest. Breathe arms up overhead. You can either have your arms next to your ears, or I like Kali Mudra, but we do want to create that fulcrum. So just a lean forward in the hips. Change your drishti to the floor. Transfer the weight onto the front foot and lift the back leg. Take your time. Keep lifting your shoulders. Lift the back leg. Let your back leg down onto the floor. Bring your arms out to the side. Front knee is bent. And come into your arrow. So you're leaning forward. Like from your back heel up through your crown. The arrow shot out into the universe to find your dreams and your goals, your success, your happiness. This is where you are alone. And then pull back and step it in. So learn to be internally alone. So I think balance poses really help us with that, because you're on one leg and you have to focus so well that nothing else can get in, unless you're just a natural at tree pose or stork pose. All right, so let's take our feet out to the side. If you want to turn sideways on your mat, that's fine. We want to loosen up in our hips and low back. So turn your feet out, whoops, about 45 degrees for horse pose, taking a breath. Exhale and bend your knees out, pressing them open, lifting up in your chest, And it's as though you're sitting between your heels. Open the legs side to side. Back to center and relax down. Now to come up, squeeze your legs in, contracting. All right, little wiggle here, and turn your right heel out, left toes forward. I think since we're working with the pyramid, we should do our triangle pose, right? Breathe the arms out into 5-pointed star. Deep breath. Hinge down in the front hip and reach out over that leg. Shoulder is over the leg. And then switch your arms. Press against the low leg and look up into your palm if you can. Front knee is straight. And reach your fingertips up to come out of your triangle. Trikonasana. Switch to the other side. Taking in your breath. Open the shoulders, the chest. Exhale, hinge down, excuse me, in the front hip. Reach out over that leg. You want to keep the torso in a straight line. So that's why you're pressing down here on the inside hip and out on the outside hip. Reach. And then switch your arms and look up into your palm. And then reach your fingertips up. We'll come in for a forward bend just to stretch. Lift up through your crown. Inhale. Exhale. Toes are in, heels out slightly. Reach your hips back. Tilt them up. You can slide your hands down your legs if you wish. Come in for your stretch. So we have another triangle here. Now just walk your hands forward. Bend your knees. Press down on your hands and hop your feet together behind you into your plank. Now bring your right leg in. Let the back knee down and come down sitting on that right hip. Bring your left leg around for a twist. Both hip bones on the floor. Wrap your arm around and then inhale, lift the free arm up, around and down. Now press down in your sitting bones and breathe your back arm up to your ear. And then unwind. Coming around. Swing that left leg around once again. Toes on the floor. Come back into your plank. And now bring your left leg in. Back leg comes around. Bring both sitting bones down onto the mat. And breathe your free arm up. It'd be your right arm. And open into your twist. Wrap your arm around your leg. Look over your shoulder. Remember that that pyramid is over you and under you. All right, now press your sitting bones, your ischial tuberosities down into the ground. Breathe your right arm up to your ear. And unwind, coming back to center. Just sit back and unwind your legs. Separate your feet. Just take your legs side to side, bringing the knee in to center. And give us a little thigh stretch. Bring both knees together. Just see how it feels to press both knees forward. How far will they go? All right, and then lean back. And prepare for your Shavasana. Just stretch your legs out. Feet are separated. Roll down. See if you can use your abdominal muscles. We use our core muscles in our plank, but see if you can lower down without your arms. Roll your hips under. Roll down on your spine. Shoulder blades come under. Stretch out in your neck. And turn your palms up. Make any further adjustments you need. And relax for Shavasana. This is where you become internally alone. So relax down. Imagine that pyramid over you, the base meeting with the one under you. And only positive energy can get through. Now, without disturbing yourself, generate the feeling of gratitude for the things that you're grateful for. Now, intensify that feeling more and more. Let it get stronger and stronger. This is your song of gratitude. Now, you can continue to generate the feeling of gratitude if you wish, but start to bring some physical movement, all the while picturing the pyramid over you and the one under you. Eventually, bring your knees up to your chest. Draw them in for a stretch. If you like, you can roll side to side. And then roll over and press up into sitting. And bring your hands into the mudra for unity. Index finger and thumb together. Stretch out the other fingers. Representing unity, the unbroken circle. Reaching for the higher dimension where there's more positive energy than in 3D. And having sealed in the benefits of your practice, release your mudra and come into Anjali Mudra, feeling grateful that for all that you have, all that you are, and all that you are becoming. Many blessings. Keep your pyramids surrounding you, and namaste.